welcome to Wizard Grandpa's Stories. Yes, absolutely. I think you're... Oh, look who's here. Look, Omeria, it's the children. How nice to see you. Welcome to Wizard Grandpa's Stories. And of course you remember my old friend, Omeria Owl. Say hello, Omeria.
Hello, oh, hello.
Now, Omeria and I have just been talking. She's lived a very long life, you know. And I was wondering what she has eaten through her long life. So tell me, Omeria, about your diet. What do you like to eat?
When I was very young, I used to like eating beetles and cockroaches. Yes, cockroaches, imagine.
Beetles and cockroaches? Yuck!
And when I was older, I used to prefer eating slugs and snails.
Slugs and snails? Ugh.
And about 100 years ago, I acquired a taste for rats and mice.
Rats and mice?
But these days, what I like eating most of all is potato salad with sweet corn.
Potato salad with sweet corn? That doesn't sound like a typical owl food. Potato salad and sweet corn?
Yes, that's right. I love it.
Ah. You've been living near me for so long, you've started eating the same kind of food as me. Well, it's true, I do like potato salad and sweet corn, and I like to eat it quite often. So that's your favorite food?
Oh, yes, it is. I love it.
Okay, I see what you're talking about.
You know, I've just thought of something.
Oh, you have an idea?
Yes, while I'm eating your potato salad, why don't you try eating my kind of food?
What? You mean beetles and cockroaches?
And others too.
And slugs and snails?
Oh, yes. And the others?
And rats and mice?
Exactly.
No. Sorry. I will not try these things to eat. You may well enjoy eating my kind of food, but I am not going to try your kind of food. No, thank you, Omeria, but thank you for the offer. I think it's time for you to go, actually. I have to tell the story quite soon, so why don't you just go off to the kitchen and make yourself some potato salad with sweet corn. And save a little bit for me for afterwards. Now, it's time for me to go to the Storyfields, because... I have to tell the story to the children. See you there. Bye-bye. Oh, my knees and my back. Oh, hello. Hello. I made it. Well, I would like to tell you the story of Spider the Drummer. Now, once upon a time, in Africa, a long time ago, the animals and the insects and the people all lived together and spoke to each other. Now, on this particular day, in the village, there was to be a party. The chief was holding a party and wanted to invite everybody in the village. His wife said to him, "Husband, please do invite everyone, but don't invite Spider and his family. They always eat all the food before anyone else can have any." "All right," said the chief. "All right, I won't invite Spider or his family. But then we'll have to tell everybody that we invite not to tell Spider and his family anything about it. Yes, she said, we will, because we don't want them to come. So the invitations went out to everybody in the village except Spider and his family. But of course, Spider was a very clever person, and he listened to everything and everybody all the time. So he heard that the chief was to have a party. And he knew that he hadn't been invited, nor any of his family. So he decided to teach the chief a lesson. The day of the party arrived. Early in the morning, before anyone was up, Spider and his wife and all their children hid themselves in the deep, long grass beside the river. And they hid themselves with all of their drums and percussion instruments. And they waited to see what would happen. Now, in those days, people didn't have taps of running water in their house. So when they needed water, they went down to the river to collect it. So the chief's wife was preparing for the party and getting the food ready, and she said to her youngest daughter, "Daughter, go down to the river and fetch some water." So she took a bucket and went down to the river, and she was about to dip the bucket in the water when Spider and his wife and his children all started playing their instruments. They played the most fascinating, intricate, addictive and compulsive music on their drums that the chief's youngest daughter couldn't help but dance. She dropped the bucket on the riverbank and started dancing. She couldn't help herself. She was forced to do it. And she danced and danced and danced and danced until she was exhausted and fell unconscious onto the ground. The music stopped. Meanwhile, back in the village, the chief and his wife were wondering where their daughter had got to. So they sent their youngest son, "Go down to the river, see where your sister is, and bring back some water." So the youngest son went down to the river and saw his sister lying unconscious on the riverbank. He picked up the bucket and was about to dip it in the water when Spider and his wife and their children started playing their music. Wow, it was so fascinating that the boy had to dance. He couldn't stop himself. He was compelled to shake and to jump and to dance in all directions until he was so exhausted he collapsed unconscious on the riverbank. Spider and his family stopped the drumming. Back in the village, the chief said to his oldest son, "Go down to the river and see what's happening with your brother and sister. We need the water to prepare for the party." So the eldest son went down to the river, and you can guess what happened. He started twitching and swaying and dancing. He couldn't help himself. His feet, his legs, everything was jumping and dancing around until he was so exhausted he fell unconscious on the ground. Meanwhile, back in the village, the chief and his wife were getting very worried. Time was going by and they still had no water to make the drinks for the party. So, one by one, the chief's children were sent down to the riverbank to bring some water. And every time one of the children appeared, and whoever it was would start dancing and dancing and be unable to stop until they fell unconscious on the ground. Well, by this time, all of the chief's children were lying fast asleep on the riverbank. And still no water had come back, and the chief and his wife were desperate. The chief himself had had enough, I'm going to see what's happening with my children. Why aren't they here, preparing for our party? And he went storming down to the riverbank and saw all of his children asleep on the ground. What's going on? He said. And then Spider and his family started to play. The music was so captivating. The chief started to sway. He started to twitch. His feet took control and started to dance all by themselves. And the chief danced and danced and danced till he was so exhausted he fell unconscious on the ground. Back in the village, the chief's wife was getting very, very upset. And she called out, "Does anyone know what's happened to my children and my husband?" And nobody knew. They all went down to the river, and none of them have come back. Friends, something terrible is happening to my family. They've all disappeared in the river. Please come with me and help me to find out what has happened. So all the village went down to the river. And when they came near, they saw the chief and all his children asleep on the ground. "This is so strange," said the chief's wife. But before she could say anything else, boom, Spider and his family started the drumming. It was so perfect, so fascinating. No one could keep still. The whole village started swaying and twitching and jumping around, and their feet moved as if by themselves, completely captivated by the beautiful music of Spider and his family. While they were dancing, somebody called out, "What's happening?" And someone else said, "I bet this is to do with Spider." And someone else said, "Has anyone seen Spider?" And someone else said, No, where is he?" And someone else said, "This sounds just like his music." And the chief's wife said, "Spider! Spider, where are you?" Spider stepped out from the bushes. "Stop!" he cried, and all of his family stopped playing. And all of the village stopped dancing. And the chief's wife said, "Spider, what's going on here?" And Spider said, "Well, you decided to have a party and not invite me or my wife or any of my children. So we thought we'd have a little party down here by the river instead. So nice of you to join us." The chief's wife knew exactly what Spider was doing and said, "Spider, do you know why I didn't invite you or any of your family?" "No," he said, "I can't imagine." And she said, "It's because you and your family eat all of the food before anyone else can have any." Oh, said Spider, "surely that is not true. You can't say that of me and my lovely children, my beautiful wife." "Oh, yes, I can," said the chief's wife. "You always eat all the food. So I'm not going to invite you." "Well then," said Spider, "then I won't let you have any water." And he started playing, and his children started playing, and everyone was dancing, and they couldn't stop, and they couldn't keep still, and they were dancing and swaying. And the chief's wife called out, "Stop!" And Spider and his family stopped playing. The chief's wife said to Spider, "Very well. Please come to our party, Spider and wife and children. But don't eat all the food." And Spider said, "All right then. We won't eat it all. We'll leave some for you as well." So they quickly woke up the chief and all the children who were lying on the riverbank and got them up, and they collected the water they needed and went back to the village and made all the drinks. And Spider and his family came to the party, and they brought their drums and they played dancing music. Not the same compulsive dancing music that hypnotized everybody. No. They played lovely dancing music, and people danced in a lovely way, and they danced with each other. They had such fun, and Spider and his family had something to eat. They had enough to eat, but they didn't eat everything. And so everyone had a lovely party after all. And that is the story of Spider the Drummer. I hope you liked it. Now, I must be going home. Someone's waiting for me, and we have a song to sing. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Oh, here I am. Home again. Home again. Now, where is Omeria? I was sure she would be waiting for me when I came back. Where could she... Ah, Omeria. Punctual as ever. Very good, very good. Glad to see you here. You know, Omeria, I was talking to the children and telling them the story about Spider the Drummer, and you remember he has many, many children. And it made me think about Miss Keeto. You remember Miss Keeto?
No, I don't.
She is the lady who has the orphanage, and she looks after all those children insects. Yes, the ones with no mummies and daddies. Yes, she's very, very kind to all the beetle children and the moth children and the wasp children. She's very kind to them all. Miss Keeto. There's a song about her. But before we do the song, I'm going to ask you a question. And if you know the answer, tell me after the song. The question is, which room has no windows and no doors? Which room has no windows and no doors? Tell me after the song. Now, Omria, it's time to sing. What happened to the children of the bugs you squashed? Without their mums and dads they surely would be lost. But luckily for them, there is a kindly soul who takes the orphans in and gives them all a home. She likes to be quite bossy, but she has a heart of gold. Miss Keeto and the bug children, Miss Keeto and the bug children beetling about in a waspy way. She's a busy bee, buzzing round all day. Miss Keeto and the bug children, Miss Keeto and the bug children. When Billy Beetle lost his way, she brought him home. When Sally Spider lost her brush, she lent her comb. And as for Willy Wasp, stuck on the kitchen shelf, he only had to ask for somebody to help. She flew up to the ceiling and she brought him down herself. Miss Keeto and the bug children, Miss Keeto and the bug children beetling about in a waspy way. She's a busy bee, buzzing round all day. Miss Keeto and the bug children, Miss Keeto and the bug children. Now when the children are in bed, she sits there all alone. No spider sits beside her, she's a queen without a drone. But she keeps busy mending socks, of those she has a pile. They're overflowing from the box, that's 6 for every child, and 8 for spiders. She's very proud to have a nose that's very strong. She has to roll it up because it's very long. And when the naughty boys say things she shouldn't hear, She gets a bit annoyed and waits until they're near. She then unrolls her nose and quickly whacks them round the ear. Miss Keeto and the Bog Children, Miss Keeto and the Bog Children, beetling about in a waspy way. She's a busy bee, buzzing round all day. Miss Keeto and the Bog Children, Miss Keeto and the Bog Children. Good old Miss Keeto, looking after all those children. The question. Now then, children, remember which room has got no windows and no doors? Do you know? Yes, of course. It's a mushroom, isn't it? A mushroom has no windows and no doors. So it's time for us to go now. So, children, come again soon. Listen to another story and another song.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye from Wizard
Bye-bye.
Grandpa.
Bye.
And Omeria.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.